I was too excited. Let's try that again. Hello everybody and welcome to Brewcraft, a sudsy delve into D&D 5th edition home brewing. I'm your host, Thomas Fleming. Hopefully you can hear me now. Good. We're on the internet. All right. So, anyhow, tonight we're going to be talking about Warlock patrons. Not just any Warlock patron, however. This is one that was kind of inspired by what's the word I'm looking for? A passing interest I had in the character of Moon Knight from Marvel Comics. So basically, I really loved the idea of a character that is so connected to the moon that he talks to it and stuff. Obviously, the character of Moon Knight gets his powers from Khonshu, the Egyptian god or Egyptian moon deity. Yeah, I was really inspired by that, and so I wanted to come up with a warlock that gets their power from the moon or some sort of figure that is representative of the moon. Moon Knight is pretty dope. But before we get into that, tonight's beer selection was provided to me by Bop Ramen. Tonight I will be drinking Blue Moon Mango Wheat. Let's get a good shot of the label here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'll be drinking that. Let's pop that open and give it a taste. You know, I went to the liquor store, and there's surprisingly few beers that are moon theme appropriate. But that's fine. Let's give this a taste. That has a lot of, really strong, fresh mango flavor. It's very good, very refreshing. I almost feel like I'm not drinking beer at all. I'm drinking, mango nectar or something. Yeah, this is very good. Thank you for the suggestion, Bob Ramen. All right. Let's get down to it. So, as you guys can see, I kind of started playing around with this idea a little while ago. I just started building the spell list. So what I've got so far for the expanded spell list is at first level, you get the added options of Dissonant Whispers and Sleep. And actually, I need to double check because I have to make sure that these are not spells that are on the Warlock's spell list, because that would just be pointless. This is supposed to be an expanded spell list after all. So let's pull that up. D&D 5th edition. How was everybody's weekend, by the way, while I'm pulling this up? I went to a concert, a music festival. Moonbeam! Yep. Do you know my favorite spell, Batnut? Moonbeam! I love that spell. Used it religiously with my lizard folk druid. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I went to a music festival for 2 days, and thankfully the resolution on my camera isn't great, so you guys probably can't tell that my face is currently peeling right now. You might be able to tell it's a little red, but I don't think you can tell that it's peeling right now. So that's good. Today might have been a good day to revisit the Freddy Krueger build that I did on the first episode with my burnt-ass face. Anyway, let's take a look here at spells. And I should open Xanathar's too, just to be sure that I'm not stepping on toes here. So let's take a look at the Warlock spell list. So we have For first level spells, warlocks get Armor of Agathis, which is the frosty armor. When you get hit, deals cold damage. When it deals enough cold damage, it goes away. Yada yada. Arms of Hadar is the area of effect that blasts out black tentacles from you and hurts people. Charm Person is pretty self-explanatory. Comprehend Languages is pretty self-explanatory. Expeditious Retreat, also pretty self-explanatory. Explanatory. I can't talk. It isn't in spell list for the Great Old One, but I think it would. It might still make sense for our Moon Warlock. But let's give it a look, and we'll see what other kind of spells we can find. We've got Hellish Rebuke in their regular spell list. That's you get damaged and you deal fire damage to people. Hex, beloved by many warlocks. That's should be pretty familiar to anyone who knows warlocks. Illusory Script is kind of a supplemental spell that lets you create illusory script. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Protection from evil and good. Unseen Servant, Witch Bolt. Okay, those are all pretty familiar and simple to understand spells. I don't think Xanathars adds any first level spells for warlocks, but let's double check. The music volume is okay for everybody. In case you guys aren't familiar, I'm playing Moonlight Sonata. Yeah, I figured it made sense, and it's not owned by anybody currently, so it's in Commons right now, so I can use it and not get hit by the Twitch police. And the only other one that gives pretty good volume. Okay, good. The only other one that Xanathars gives is Cause Fear, which could be an interesting one for the Moon, cause fear. Good sound balance, good. All right. So yeah, those are what warlocks are currently offered at first level. Those are their options. Let's move this out of my way so I can work. There we go. All right. So yeah, I've got Dissonant Whispers and Sleep here. Obviously, Sleep just makes sense. The Moon, people go to sleep at night. Sleep just makes sense. Dissonant Whispers, again, this is kind of leaning more on the madness-inducing aspect of the Moon, lunacy, that type of deal, Dissonant Whispers. But we could certainly do Cause Fear as well. Does anybody have any other thoughts on first-level spells that we could do? And you can feel free to type them up in chat while I talk some more. I've scanned through pretty much all the spell lists, and I didn't really find anything else that piqued my interest, but maybe we can find something else. It's totally possible. Fairy Fire could work too, maybe. Yeah, I don't really see something water-based, maybe. Princes of the Apocalypse. Oh, like first level water spells? That might actually be something that exists in the Prince's supplement. Let me pull that up and see if we can find anything. I know there's a considerable amount of elemental stuff that they had there that carried over into Xanathars that they added the extra spells. But yeah, we can definitely look that up and see. Let me find. Princes. Search. guess I'll pull it up from here. Hang on. Documents. No, I don't need that window open. Game modules. Elemental Evil. Player's Companion. There we go. Alright, let's see. Absorb elements, ice knife. Yeah, I don't think there was any first level spells that specifically dealt with water. I do have control water listed further down and at the 4th level spells. 'Cause yeah, obviously the moon, tides, that kind of stuff. So right now the ideas that I'm leaning on are, we've got Dissonant Whispers here already, but we could sub out Dissonant Whispers for Fairy Fire maybe. We could sub it out for Cause Fear. Those are definite possibilities as far as, the obvious madness-inducing aspects of the moon. But I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay with where we're at with Dissonant Whispers and Sleep. I think that's fine. Fairy Fire be too much for like Fey Warlock. It could be, but I mean, Dissonant Whispers is in the Great Old One Warlock too. So I mean, I guess we could in order to make it not so similar, we could drop Cause Fear in there, and then I have to remember the macro for this. Okay. Then I'm just putting little stars next to those things so that I can list at the bottom that they're in Xanathar's and not in the PHB. Okay, second level spells. We have Dark Vision and Moonbeam there. Moonbeam is obviously my personal favorite spell out of the Druid, at least the Druid's spell list. It's a personal favorite of mine, and it makes obvious sense for a moon-based warlock to have Moonbeam. I also have Dark Vision in there. That might be a little redundant, especially considering a considerable amount of the races that people traditionally play as warlocks. Now, that's not to say that your half-orc warlock is wrong, Travis Willingham. I'm just saying that most people would choose a race that provides a bonus to the charisma in order to play a warlock, but you rolled really well, which gives you a little bit of leeway. Travis Willingham. Wink. Levitate for second level? Gravity manipulation? Yeah, that's definitely that's not something that I had even considered. Levitate is a cool idea. Does anybody else have any ideas? Let's really work this over, because like I said, it was an idea that popped into my head and I was like, man, that would be real cool, and then I kind of got stuck. And you give them expanded dark vision as a patron benefit. We could do that, yeah. We could definitely give them better dark vision as part of their first level thing. That's totally a thing we can do. Excuse me. Let's take a look at second level warlock spells and see what they already have. They have a considerable amount. Oh no, they have about the same amount as first level spells. Cloud of Daggers, or as I like to call it, the Meat Grinder. You cast Cloud of Daggers and then have your Barbarian pick up all the little nasties and toss them into the Cloud of Daggers. At least that's what I've done when I've played a Warlock before. Crown of Madness pretty much speaks for itself. That could also be an interesting option for the whole lunacy angle again, if we want to go that route. Darkness. Oh wait, no. Well, again, that was actually, I think that was one of my original choices for second level spells was Crown of Madness, and then I realized that the Warlock gets Crown of Madness, and I was like, man, now I gotta figure out what else fits. Darkness we get as a Warlock, Enthrall. These are all things that could totally have worked for a Moon Patron, but again, we're kind of trying to break the mold. Hold Person, Invisibility, Mirror Image, Misty Step, Ray of Enfeeblement, Shatter, Spider Climb, Suggestion. So that's what Warlocks get at second level. Let's just double check. Xanathars. Xanathars also gives them Earthbind, Mind Spike, and Shadow Blade. Those are all interesting things. Really like the gravity suggestion. Yeah, me too. All right, yeah, let's go with Levitate. I like that. Levitate. All right, so we've got Levitate and Moonbeam at second level. Third level, this was another place where I got kind of stuck, and I said, you know what, I don't really know. So I've got Enemies Abound and Melf's Minute Meteors, which both come from Xanathar's Guide. At third level, Warlocks have, from their spell list, the options of Counterspell, Dispel Magic, Fear, Fly, Gaseous Form, Hunger of Hadar. That's the black tentacles in darkness with cold damage. Or, as I like to call, the Box of Hentai. Hypnotic Pattern, Magic Circle, Major Image, Remove Curse, Tongues, and Vampiric Touch from the PHB. And then third level. Oh, okay. This is where I started getting stuck because Enemies Abound is also in the Warlock spell list, so we can't use Enemies Abound anyway. So let's knock that off right now. Enemies Abound, Thunderstep, and Summon Lesser Demons in Xanathars. So, kind of wondering. We could go Fly for third level. I think isn't Fly? Did I say Fly? Yeah, Fly is listed in the Warlock spell list. So we can't do Fly. We could do Wall of Water. Just to add more to the water control, the tides, Wall of Water, maybe. I don't really feel like it's or we could do Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave could even work. What is this and what am I doing? So this is a homebrew stream. Welcome to Brewcraft. I'll just run through my opening spiel. This is a sudsy delve into D&D 5th edition homebrewing. Basically, I host this show every Tuesday. I drink beer that's theme appropriate. Right now I'm drinking Blue Moon Mango Wheat, and we're working on a moon-centric patron for the Warlock class. So yeah, welcome, Worry Lord. So yeah, we could do Tidal Wave. We could do Wall of Water. Those might work. Does anybody have any other ideas for third level spells that we can use? Trying to think. What other classes might have things that work? Interesting? Question mark? I don't know. Is it interesting? I think so. All right. Yeah, I think if nobody has objections, I think we'll go with Tidal Wave. Just makes sense. Let's keep the ball rolling. Mouse Minute Meteors. Check the cleric list, maybe? Sure. So Xanathar's only gives life transference, which, I mean, thinking about moon lore. Warrior Lord asks, do you stream often or run sessions? Yes, actually, currently on alternating Sundays, we stream a D&D 5e homebrew game that we play here. I Dungeon Master for that. We've also got a couple of things down the pipeline, but we're not quite ready to announce them yet. So yeah, we've got some new shows that are coming up soon. Stay tuned if you're interested. Cleric spell list. Okay. Cleric's 3rd level spells. Create food and water. That's their. Let's see. Animate dead. Beacon of Hope. Bestow Curse. Bestow Curse might be interesting. Bestow Curse could be interesting as far as like moon werewolves. I'd like to check out the game. Yeah, if you're thank you, Batnut. Yeah, actually, if you scroll down below the stream, there's a link to our YouTube. You can check out the videos there. You can also check out VODs here on our Twitch of our previous sessions. I know for a little while, when we hit affiliate, we ended up having a little trouble with them setting our VODs to subscriber only, but we fixed that. So you guys should be able to see all of our VODs here on Twitch as well. But yeah, they're also on our YouTube channel. So yeah, Bestow Curse could be interesting. Feign Death, Glyph of Warding. Meld into Stone. Protection from Energy. Remove Curse. How did we go from... Oh. What do we think? Bestow Curse or Tidal Wave? Water Walk? Water Walk is a 3rd level spell. It's a druid spell, isn't it? Yeah, we could do Water Walk. It would be less damage centric than Tidal Wave, for sure. Water Walk. All right, yeah. All right, so then we've got Mouse Minute Meteors. All right. Cool. All right, 4th level spells. Confusion and Control Water. Again, this is playing on the tides, control water, and then Confusion, the lunacy of the moon. I mean, I don't really have any problems with those, but if anybody's got those seem pretty solid to you, Bob, yeah, for sure. If anybody else has any suggestions, I welcome them. I'm going to move on, though, because I don't want to spend too much time on this. We're already about a half hour into the show. And, so yeah, then 5th level, we've got Dream, and I don't know why I put Tree Stride here. I don't remember I don't know what I was thinking, or why I don't know. I don't know why I put it there. I don't know why I put Tree Stride there, to be honest, but it was there. So yeah, Dream makes sense, I think. the moon, twilight dreams. Let's skim through some 5th level spells and see. Let's check out the cleric spell list. Let me maximize this so I can actually see things. Cleric spell list doesn't really look like it has much in the way of 5th level spells that I would want for this guy. Druid spell list. Again, not super inspiring as far as. Let's move this over here so I'm not looking away from the camera the whole time. Planar binding. I thought about planar binding. Why don't you give me your pitch for planar binding? Because I don't know why it would work, but I kind of looked at it. Excuse me, sorry, my throat's getting dry. I kind of looked at it and I was like, maybe planar binding, but I don't know why. So yeah, give me your pitch for planar binding while I kind of skim the rest of these, and we'll consider it for sure. I mean, I loved your idea for levitate. That was great, real smart, and it drove us away from the dark vision. Teleportation circle, maybe, or modify memory. Modify memory is an interesting choice. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Batnut, you got a pitch for planar binding? Because I think modify memory might actually take it. Modify memory creation. Yeah, maybe. Modify memory is a real cool idea, though, I think. Dream. Modify memory. Yeah. That was kind of where I was at, too. I was like, I like it, but I don't know why I like it. I think I was just looking for a reason to use it. Okay, how do I create a star for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can be found in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Okay. Awesome. Now we get into the meat of the class. Or the subclass, I should say. The class features. So let's start with our first level. Warlocks get their things at first level. Let me pull up. This way I don't have to move the screen and everything and change things. Grab my PHB so we can take a look at the regular Warlock stuff from the PHB. So Warlocks start getting their features at first level. The ones in the PHB are pretty straightforward. Archfey, the Fiend, and the Great Old One. The Archfey at first level gets Fey Presence. Your patron bestows upon you the ability to project the beguiling and fearsome presence of the Fey. As an action, you can cause each creature in a 10-foot cube originating from you to make a Wisdom saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC. The creatures that fail their saving throw are all charmed or frightened by you, your choice, until the end of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Fiend gets Dark One's Blessing, starting at first level. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Charisma modifier, plus your Warlock level. And then the Great Old One gets Awakened Mind. Starting at first level, your Alien Knowledge gives you the ability to touch the minds of other creatures. You can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic utterances, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. So, some pretty varied things. We have some debuff condition effects coming from the Fae. You can charm or frighten people. We have some buffs coming in the form of temporary hit points with the Fiend. With the Fiend Warlock getting some temp hit points. And then we have what I would consider a I can't think of the actual name of the pillar, but like the interactions, inter-character interactions. I can't think of the name of the actual pillar of play. Anyway, but yeah, we have something that that affects your ability to communicate with others. So for our first level feature for our Moon Warlock, we were thinking about something. We started with the idea of expanded dark vision. I think that definitely makes sense. But what else do we want? If we're playing with the moon, causing craziness, maybe a feature that makes an enemy go temporarily mad. That's definitely something that would be cool. I don't know how we would mechanically do that unless we just say they roll on the madness table, the temporary madness table in the DMG, which I'm totally cool with. In fact, let's take a look at that just to see what we're playing with. Dungeon Master's Guide. I've got my stack of books holding up a fan that's keeping my laptop cool right now until I get a new fan put in. Alright, Dungeon Master's Guide. Madness table is somewhere in the back, I know that. There we go. Short-term madness. So, some of the effects that can be granted by the short-term madness table include: the character retreats into his or her mind and becomes paralyzed. The effect ends if the character takes any damage. The character becomes incapacitated and spends the duration screaming, laughing, or weeping. The character becomes frightened and must use his or her action and movement each round to flee from the source of the fear. The character begins babbling and is incapable of normal speech or spellcasting. The character must use his or her action each round to attack the nearest creature. The character experiences vivid hallucinations and has disadvantage on ability checks. The character does whatever anyone tells him or her to do that isn't obviously self-destructive. So some of these are could be pretty powerful for a first level character, actually. Like, what does the Undying Pact Warlock get? Not recalling right. I think they get Spare the Dying as a cantrip, and they have a thing where if an undead creature attacks them, it's basically like Sanctuary against undead creatures, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me see if I can. Let me try to pull it up here in PDF form. I know I have it here somewhere. Excuse me. Classes, warlocks, otherworldly patron. Yeah, and Dying Warlock gets Spare the Dying as a cantrip, and undead creatures have difficulty harming you if undead targets you directly with an attack. Yeah, it's basically a sanctuary spell, a permanent sanctuary spell versus undead creatures. Okay, so let's, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, expanded dark vision, there is actually a warlock invocation for that. I think it's, Eyes of the Limited Wild Shape, Claws. We could do that. Do we want to play on all the tropes of the moon, or do we want to try to limit it a little bit? Because I think the moon definitely has a lot of angles we could take with it. And if I'm remembering correctly, I was thinking about going back to the inspiration for this whole thing, Moon Knight. If I'm remembering correctly, he gets different powers based on the phase of the moon. Devil Sight. Thank you, Warrior Lord. So yeah, I think maybe we can do, and you guys know how I love doing things where it's you know, based on a die roll or a table of options for you to choose from. So why don't we do a table here? Why don't we decide? Let's call this. Warlock is one of my favorite classes to play right after Paladin, for sure. How about doing it in the middle of the road? How do you mean, Cylon? By the way, welcome. Happy you could join us. Yeah, Warlock is definitely a very fun class to play. I was playing a Hexblade recently. Other than that, I don't think I've played a Warlock. Actually, I think that was my first Warlock. Now that I'm thinking about it. Jeez. But yeah, how about we call this Moons... forgot my formatting here. Why don't we call this Moons... Embrace... Starting at first level. Doing powers in the middle. You mentioned playing with a power either light or heavy. Either I'm really drunk or I don't remember what I said. Full disclosure, I did pregame a little bit. I had a couple of beers before we started. More strength, better reflexes, and endurance. Warrior Lord, I am using a site called homebrewery.naturalcrit.com. I will post the link in chat here for you. Oh, of course, I can't copy paste. Home brewery. I'll have to set up a command to let me just post that. But of course, I'll have to figure out. There you go. Oh man, you're at work? Well, I won't tell your boss that you're joining us. Yeah, Moon Knight gets more strength, better reflexes, endurance, depending on the phase of the moon. Actually, well, what I was thinking was starting at first level, the moon grants you the power to grants you the starting at first level, you gain the ability to embody the phases of the moon. At the end, when you finish a long rest, choose the phase of the moon which you wish to embody. Based on this choice, you gain certain benefits. Something similar, yeah. Something sort of similar, yeah. To the Eladrin's seasonal change. Based on, or actually, let's call this moon. Let's just call this phase change. Why not? Phase change. No, let's call it moon's phase. I don't know. We'll play with it. We'll play with the name. You gain certain benefits. And listed in the moon's phase table. And then we'll insert a table here. Very easy. We just go up to our thing. We insert a table. There's our old friend Cookie Tastiness. That's how this website generates tables for you. They completely populate them with random silliness. This table just happens to always be Cookie Tastiness. And we'll call this Moon's Phase Table. And then we'll say phase here and benefit here. Does anybody know the phases of the moon off the top of their head? I know there's like full, new, waxing, waning, gibbous, I think. Crescent? Is that a thing, or is that the gibbous? No, the gibbous is more than half. Let's look it up. Phases of the moon. It's just the phases of the moon. Alright, so we've got new moon, crescent moon, quarter moon, gibbous moon, full moon. We could probably drop quarter moon. Oh, or half moon. That's half moon. Okay. So we could probably do new crescent, gibbous, and full. Maybe. Waxing, waning, gibbous, full, new crescent. Yeah. So let's do. I think waxing and waning is based on if it's coming or going to a full or a new moon. So I think we can drop the waxing and waning and we can just do crescent. I mean, if you're a fan of the moon stuff, you will. All right, so let's do crescent. Actually, let's start with new. We've got new. Then we've got crescent. Then we've got gibbous. All right, let's just do 5 actually. Let's do half. Gibbous and full. Now I have some ideas of things that might work for these, but I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts are. So, new moon obviously is when there is no moon. It's totally dark, or at least I shouldn't say that. The new moon is when we can't see the moon. Not that there is no moon. So maybe we do advantage on stealth checks. Stealth checks. Maybe they get advantage on stealth checks when they embody the concealment for the warlock. How do you mean, Bob Brahman? Advantage on stealth checks, maybe. Maybe we do. We could do something like a limited darkness spell. We could do. It's a tough nut to crack. Crescent moon. Moon looks like a crescent. The crescent increases. It waxes in size from one day to the next. When they're doing new moon, maybe give them partial concealment. Oh, you mean like treat, like, for instance, treat yourself as if you have half cover or full cover sort of deal for like ranged attacks. Is that what you're talking about, Bob? That could work too. It would definitely be something different instead of just the traditional leaning on advantage for a certain type of check. Or Or we could even do it like as a result of the fact that you're shrouded in this darkness. Maybe you create a shroud of darkness, and then it grants you the effects of if you were in half cover or something. You get like +2 to your armor class or something. That sort of deal. That could work. I actually really like that idea as opposed to just giving advantage. Cause that really that will just impact the number that has to be rolled on the die instead of. Yeah. All right. So become shrouded in dark mist. Attackers. I don't want to get too wordy with it. Become shrouded in dark mist. Gain bonus to AC as if you were in half cover. Is that too wordy? I feel like that's too wordy, but... Alright, anyway. Crescent Moon. I don't know. What do we think the embodiment of a crescent moon is? I mean, we see a lot of crescents on the Soviet flag, the Soviet Russian flag. There's also a crescent on the Turkish flag, I think. But that doesn't tell me what knowledge checks. That could work. You are granted... Right. You are granted access to the moon's wealth of knowledge. Gain advantage on all intelligence-based checks. Okay. Half Moon. All right, Half Moon, maybe. Darkness surrounds you. Apply half cover AC bonus. Ignore cover for spell attacks. Half Moon, ignore cover for spell attacks. You could, but there's a feat for that. Although there are a couple of class features that I've seen that kind of step on the toes of feats. Ha! Step on the toes of feats, but I'm a comedian. Ignore cover for spell attacks. I like the spell attack angle, but I don't know about ignoring cover. Maybe we could, Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I like the idea of something with spells, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do ignores cover. Let's do. Let's try. Something like a meta magic ability. We do love our meta magic, don't we? Which reminds me, I have to go back and rewatch last week's episode so that I can rewrite everything. Because I made an oops and forgot to save our Blood Rager Barbarian last week. But luckily, there's video proof that we made it, so I can just go back and copy everything and redo it. You know what? Let's stew on our half moon ability. I'm gonna take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll continue working on the Man in the Moon, a patron for the Warlock class. we're back. Thanks for sticking around and waiting for me while I grabbed a refill. Let's get back into our Moon Warlock. So, we were talking about ideas for the half moon phase of our Warlock. Now, there's definitely some good ideas on the table. Spell attacks, meta magic. I don't want to give them. I don't know if I want to give them meta magic. I think we really love our meta magic around here, as could be seen from last week's episode when we did the Blood Rager. But I think what I want to do here. I think what I want to do is. Minor illusion cantrip. I mean, that seems kind of. That kind of sells the half moon phase a little short. As far as you know, advantage on intelligence-based checks and more AC or access to minor illusion. I think what we can do is spell. Yeah. How long will I be streaming tonight? Typically this show goes until about 8 o'clock Eastern, so for roughly another hour or so. But I don't have any plans this Tuesday, tonight after this game. Unfortunately, sad news, my Tuesday game, which Batnut is actually part of, the Tuesday game that I normally play in, is on indefinite hiatus. So, I don't have any plans after this, so we can run long if we need to. But typically we end around 8 o'clock. So roughly another hour or so. Yeah, it happens. The DM got burnt out, and he's going through a lot of life stuff, which I get. I get it, man. I've been there. Been there, done that. Had to drop games because I was burnt out before. It sucks, but it happens. So let's move on to the gibbous for now. I think we're stuck on Half Moon, and of course, who the fuck even knows what gibbous is? I was thinking something along the lines of strength, something with strength. Hey, generic nerd. No, you didn't miss the stream entirely. In fact, you're catching the back half, and you can always see the first half in our VODs. We're working on a Moon Patron Warlock. So all the Moon stuff. Currently, our first level feature is something to do with the Moon's phases, and gaining benefits based on the phase you choose to embody. So, for instance, our new moon phase, you become shrouded in a dark mist. Gain a bonus to AC as if you were in half cover. Crescent moon, you are granted access to the moon's wealth of knowledge, gain advantage on all intelligence-based checks. We got kind of stuck on half moon. We weren't quite sure what we wanted to do. Something with spell attacks or something. But we decided to move on from there, so we're not stuck there entirely, and moving on to gibbous. Now, of course, as I said, who the fuck even knows what gibbous means? Let's go to Wikipedia for the play-by-play. I don't know. Gibbous moon occurs when more than half of the lit portion of the moon can be seen, and the shape increases in size from one day to the next. Phase occurs between the first quarter and the full moon. Real helpful, Wikipedia. Alright, so yeah, gibbous moon, gibbous phase, I think. Actually, maybe we want to take the crescent feature and move it to the gibbous because it's like shedding more light. What's the opinion on an expanded range or on AoE spells? Expanded range on AoE spells, like cast range or spell radius. Like, are we giving Fireball 300-foot range, or are we giving it a 40-foot radius? Not that this Warlock would ever radius. I mean, it's definitely something different. It's not something that's covered in the Spell Sniper. The spell Sniper feat gives increased spell range, but doesn't increase the radius. I don't know what the official ruling would be as far as WotC is concerned, but yeah, fuck it. This is a homebrew anyway. They're generally broken. But I don't want them to be broken. I want them to be unplay tested, and then they can be play tested, and we'll make adjustments. That's what this community is going to be all about. We're going to build this community of homebrewing within our microcosm of D&D games, and I want to eventually get all this stuff we make play tested, and figure out how to best tweak it and make it work well. But for now, yeah, we can do. Oh, it's raining. How ominous. Yeah, okay. Let's do, maybe with more light. One of these, stronger resistances, constitution, advantage on wisdom to save against mental attacks. Yeah, so I'm thinking, actually, that's a good point. Sorry to ask this again, but my sound cut out when I asked. How long will you be streaming? Typically, I stream till about 8 o'clock Eastern, so another 45 minutes. Warrior Lord. But tonight I can run long, so it's all good. Actually, you mentioning light there gives me is kind of interesting. Maybe something similar to for the gibbous, or maybe even full. Maybe something similar to guiding bolt sort of deal. Like when you hit creatures with an attack spell. When you hit creatures with a spell attack, they become illuminated, and like with the moon's glow, almost. That could be something interesting. Again, that also kind of ties back to expansion and growth, if that helps. Yeah, Moonbolt. Okay, so let's do that for. Do we want to do that for half or for full? The moon's glow. And then we can talk about gibbous as far as expansion and growth is concerned. I like the idea of an aura. I like the idea of... Okay, so here's what we'll do. Pull from Celestial Path, giving it a D6 for checks or saving throw. Maybe. I don't know if I want to give them to the full pool. I know I want to kind of stray away from die rolls too much, as far as that's concerned, because we're already giving a bunch of we're already mixing it up with as far as this table goes of options, but definitely buffing your allies for something could be interesting. Maybe. Okay. Full moon. Like pack tactics. Full moon. The moon's wisdom is granted to you and allies near you. All creatures within... Sorry. Creatures you choose within 30 feet of you gain advantage on wisdom-based checks. What if we made all of these buffs to you and your group instead of just yourself? Like, what if we did for the new moon, you and your allies become shrouded in dark mist, gain bonus to AC as if you were in half cover. Crescent, you and your allies are granted access to the moon's wealth of knowledge. Gain advantage on all intelligence-based checks. I think that we were getting too stuck on trying to figure out things to just benefit the warlock, and there's definitely precedent for, as far as the celestial warlock, which was mentioned by Worry Lord. There's precedent for a support type of warlock. All right, you and your allies become shrouded in dark mist. Creatures, you and creatures of your choice. Okay, here's how we're going to fix all the wordiness in here. Yeah, you change it every long rest, so it will affect the party as well. So let's say you, based on this choice, you and creatures of your choice that remain within 30 feet of you gain certain benefits listed in the moon's phase table. You and your allies become shrouded in dark mist. Gain bonus to AC as if you were in half cover. You and your allies are granted access to the moon's wealth of knowledge. Gain advantage on all intelligence-based checks. You and your allies gain advantage on wisdom-based checks. On all wisdom-based checks. Okay. Yeah, I think that's cool. Okay, so we need to figure out Half Moon and Gibbous Moon. And we're definitely going to run late tonight, for sure. I hope you guys are all in it for the long haul. Because, yeah, we're pushing 7:30. This has been a tough nut to crack, but I'm glad that I've got you guys here with me. You guys have been coming up with great ideas. So let's say... Let me scroll up the chat and double back to some ideas that were listed that I might be forgetting. Resistances, Constitution. So Gibbous is tied to growth, and it was in here somewhere. Expansion and growth. So what if we did... Resistances could be good. Maybe give the party an advantage. I know, this is fine. Love doing homebrew when I can. Yeah, me too. Me too, generic nerd. Maybe give the party an advantage on certain resistance checks. What about advantage on concentration checks for spells? All right, Warrior Lord. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Happy to have you here, man. What were you about to suggest, Bob? Advantage on concentration checks? Yeah, I think that's the way to go for Gibbous. I think we'll do the moons. Power allows you to endure. Allows you and your allies to endure. Gain advantage on checks to maintain concentration on spells. Okay, we just have Half Moon left. What do we want to give Half Moon? I think let's see. What does the Half Moon represent? Meaning behind Half Moon tattoos. I'm not asking about tattoos. I'm asking about the Half Moon in general. I guess I should call that the quarter moon, since it is. Eight moon phases and how they affect your body and mind. Extra spell slot? Ugh. That might get a little sketchy as far as balancing goes. We can consider it. New moon, beginning again. Waxing crescent, setting intentions. Waxing gibbous, first quarter. Action. Action and release. That sounds weird. Always thirsty for more slots. I know, man. I know, but they are a short rest. They do get their slots back on short rest, which is helpful. You know, I don't want to sit on this too long. Let's I mean, I can keep going, but I want to keep the ball rolling, so to speak. I think we've got great ideas. I think we can come back to the half moon if we come up with something along the lines of what we want to do later. Let's look at 6th level features. 6th level for the Archfey, you get Misty Escape. You can vanish in a puff of mist in response to harm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can come back to it. Nothing says we can't. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to turn invisible and teleport up to 60 feet. Symbolizes a period of strength, determination, focus, decision-making, and reevaluation, and commitment to action. Determination, focus. So maybe Half Moon should be the maybe Half Moon should be the concentration, and Gibbous should be something else. Let's just do it. Half Moon is going there. And then Gibbous. What's a short rest? Warlock can cast one spell free. Next level. Yeah, again, it gets a little touchy when we start giving warlocks more spell slots or more spell casting power. Like there are a lot of options for warlocks to get more spell casting power. There's pearls of power, there's rings of spell storing, there's multi-classing if you decide to multi-class. So there's definitely options for that sort of thing. I don't know that I want to do too much as far as giving them too much spell casting options goes. Yeah, we'll come back to the Gibbous. So yeah, Archfey Warlock, you get hit. Not if the Warlock doesn't get time to get their spells back. Yeah, that's true. So Archfey Warlock, you get hit, and you can disappear and teleport, become uninvisible on the start of your next turn. Bonus to skill checks. I don't want to just do a flat +1. Plus we've got so we have like intelligence-based checks. Where is it? Gain advantage to all intelligence-based checks. So we have a lot of skill checks covered as far as intelligence and wisdom are concerned. And they get advantage. So I think that giving a +1 to skill checks is just it's not too much. Fiend Warlocks, Dark One's Own Luck. You can call on your patron to alter the fate in your favor when you make an ability check or a saving throw. You can use this feature to add a D10 to your roll. So that's a buff to your skill checks. And then Great Old One, Entropic Ward. You learn to magically ward yourself against attack. When a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll. If the attack misses you, your next attack roll against the creature has advantage. If you make it before the end of your next turn. And I think doubling back, each of these are once per short rest features. Yeah, each of these are once per short rest features. So we're looking at something that we want to give our warlock that can help them out. The Archfey has Misty Escape. They get hit, they disappear and run away. We've got Dark One's Own Luck for the Fiend. They get to add a d10 to an ability check once per short rest. They got Entropic Ward, giving disadvantage on an attack from a foe, and then getting advantage if the attack misses. Yeah, that could be something for sure. Yeah, let's call it. Let's just call it what it is. Gravitational pull. Gravitational pull. Oh, need my space there for proper formatting. There we go. Gravitational pull. All right. Scroll down a little bit so that we can all see. All right. At 6th level. The moon's gravity. You at 6th level, you begin to harness the moon's gravity. Say as a bonus action. That way it's competing with... Actually, what if we... What if we gave them the option to pull or push? We could do as a bonus action on your turn. Choose one creature within. We want this to be bigger than the invocations that you can get, dragging them out of danger or into the aura. Oh, you mean pull allies? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Dragging them out of danger into the aura. Yeah. And that'll, yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely pull, yeah. Choose one creature of your choice. Within... Yeah, man. Oh, I didn't even... I was thinking about enemies, not even allies. Yeah, allies for sure. Choose one creature of your choice. That's redundant. As a bonus action on your turn, one creature of your choice within... Ooh, yeah, I like that even better, generic nerd. So, like, if an ally is in a sticky situation, you can pull them out of it, or give them a nudge if they ran out of movement to attack someone. Sixth level, you begin to harness the moon's gravity as a bonus action on your turn. One creature of your choice within... What did we say our radius is for this? 30 feet? I think I want to drop that down to 15 feet. That remain within 15 feet of you gain certain benefits listed in the moon's phase table. Yeah. I'm going to drop that down to 15 feet for the moon's phase, and then within 30 feet. This way we have a reason for this. Creature of your choice within 30 feet of you is either pulled 15 feet toward you, or pushed 15 feet away from you. Pulled up to 15 feet toward you, or pushed up to 15 feet away from you. That way it's not an indefinite 15 feet. One willing creature. This way it has to be a willing creature. It can't be so there we go. At 6th level, you begin to harness the moon's gravity. As a bonus action on your turn, one willing creature of your choice within 30 feet of you is either pulled up to 15 feet toward you or pushed up to 15 feet away from you. Once you use this feature, you can't. Right, it has to be a willing creature. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Beautiful. Short, sweet, and to the point. Gravitational pull. Alright. So next we move on to tenth level. 10th level Archfey Warlocks get Beguiling Defenses. Your patron teaches you how to turn the mind-affecting magic of your enemies against them. You are immune to being charmed, and when another creature attempts to charm you, you can use your reaction to attempt to turn the charm back on that creature. Creature must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC, or be charmed by you for 1 minute, or until the creature takes any damage. 10th level Fiend Warlocks get Fiendish Resilience. You can choose one damage type when you finish a short or long rest. You gain resistance to that damage type until you choose a different one with this feature. Damage from magical weapons or silver weapons ignores this resistance. Then we have Thought Shield for the Great Old One Warlock. Your thoughts can't be read by telepathy or other means unless you allow it. You also have resistance to psychic damage, and whenever a creature deals psychic damage to you, that creature takes the same amount of damage that you do. So those are some interesting things. These are things that typically are multi-use, with the exception of the Fiendish Resilience, but it's more like it's multi-use in the sense that you choose your damage type that you're resistant to, and then you can change it on a short rest, which is interesting. What if we did? What if we did a? We want this to be kind of supporty, huh? So what if this was our moment for like the moon glow type of deal? Where it's kind of what if we did something similar to Fairy Fire? Not exactly like Fairy Fire, but similar to Fairy Fire in that it's something that help support your allies' ability to affect your enemies. What if we did... I'm trying to think. What if we did... Let's call this Moon Glow. And then, let's say at 10th level, you gain access to access the moons. All right, Batnut, have a good night, bud. Thanks for stopping in. At 10th level, you access the moons. I don't want to tie it too much to the moon's phase aura. I'm thinking more along the lines of oh, here we go. At 10th level, at 10th level, the moon grants you access to its unearthly glow. When you finish, we're gonna do this kind of similar to the fiendish resilience. When you finish a short rest, choose a creature type. And then, just so that everyone understands what creature type is, humanoid, beast, giant, etc. When you finish a short rest, choose a creature type. Sort of like the ranger's favorite enemy, yeah. When a creature of that type is within 30 feet of you, it takes on an it begins to glow. You and your allies gain the following benefits. Nah, let's not do that. Following benefits, maybe? I don't know. Following benefits. Now I don't want to give permanent advantage against that creature type. I feel like that's too much. But what I will do is this. Let's say where'd you go, little cursor? There you go. You gain advantage on your first attack against the creature. You know what? Let's break this up. Column break. There we go. That way we can see it better. Alright. You gain advantage on your first attack against the creature. You gain advantage on insight checks against the creature. How do we feel about that? Yeah, for the RP purposes at least, it makes you kind of seek them out and figure out why you would know this knowledge or have this knowledge in order to access it. Yeah, advantage on your first attack against the creature. Advantage on insight checks against the creature. Advantage on intelligence. Checks to recall information about the creatures. About the creature. Okay. Let's fix this wording so that it makes sense. Okay. I think that's cool. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Alright. Home stretch here, guys. 14th level features. So, Archfey gets Dark Delirium. You can plunge a creature into an illusory realm. As an action, choose a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. It must make a wisdom saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC. Flight. Yeah, everyone wants to fly, huh? On a failed save, it is charmed or frightened by you, your choice, for 1 minute or until your concentration is broken, as if you are concentrating on a spell. This effect ends early if the creature takes any damage. Until this illusion ends, the creature thinks it is lost in a misty realm, the appearance of which you choose. The creature can see and hear only itself, you, and the illusion. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. Fiend Warlocks get Hurl Through Hell. When you hit a creature with an attack, you can use this feature to instantly transport the target through the lower planes. The creature disappears and hurtles through a nightmare landscape. At the end of your next turn, the target returns to the space it previously occupied, or the nearest unoccupied space. The target is not a fiend. It takes 10d10 psychic damage as it reels from its horrific experience. That's a scary one. I've never seen that one used in action before, but that's a scary one. Great Old One has Create Thrall. You gain the ability to infect a humanoid's mind with the alien magic of your patron. You can use a creature You can use your action to touch an incapacitated humanoid. That creature is then charmed by you until a remove curse spell is cast on it. Charmed condition is removed from it, or you use this feature again. So we've got some options here. There's well, let's see. So Bop Ramen wants flight. So let's say we'll set up our formatting here. At 14th level, why am I yawning? I'm not even tired. Ugh. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. At 14th level. I mean, Warlocks get access to the fly spell. So it's not really necessary to have a thing that's flight based. Let's see. So by 14th level, you've already got your 7th level Mystic Arcanum. Maybe an anti-flyer ability. Alright, generic nerd. Maybe an anti-flyer ability. Yeah, maybe something like that. More gravity. Gravity. I'm failing to grasp the gravity of the situation. No? Nah, that wasn't very funny. That wasn't very funny. I don't know what I was doing. Alright. Let's give this a look-see. Let's take a look at Xanathars and see what the Xanathars Warlocks get. Can't hurt, right? Pushing, pulling, water related. Yeah, I feel like that's where we're really leaning is the gravity sort of impact, so to speak. So let's see here. Celestial Warlock, 14th level. No, you don't get to retreat into the sky. You stay here. Starting at 14th level, the radiant energy you channel allows you to resist death. When you have to make a death saving throw at the start of your turn, you can instead spring back to your feet with a burst of radiant energy. Alright, yeah, that's what those guys do. Celestial Warlocks at 14th level. And then I don't know why I'm yawning, guys. I'm sorry. I swear I'm not bored or anything. It's just coming out of my mouth. I don't know. Somebody's gonna clip that and then rework it. I'm sure. Starting at 14th level, you can spread your Hexblade's curse from a slain creature to... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's all the Hexblade gets at 14th level, is that they get to move their Hexblade curse instead of not moving it. All right. Yeah, let's look at, let's take a look at the reverse gravity spell. What level spell is that? Is that an 8th level spell? No, it's a 7th level spell, isn't it? Something like the Fiend ability. Yeah, I almost wanna do something like transport them to space, but instead of psychic damage, it's cold damage. I don't want to. It feels too similar to the Fiend though, but yeah, that's the natural progression. I think is what it would be. It would be something like you literally transport your enemy to the moon. Suffocate them with crushing gravity. Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna go. Let me move this so that you guys can see. Crushing Blow. At 14th level, you can... Suffocation would be by lack of the air. Enemy can't move for a limited time, take some small amount of damage. Send them to the moon, to a moon-like dimension. Yeah, there's... I mean, it's been a long time since I was in Earth Space Science. Noob. By the way, welcome. Good to see you, bud. But yeah, I think the moon has a thin atmosphere, but it's not. It doesn't hold the proper amount of oxygen to support life, if I'm remembering correctly. Again, I'm not a scientist whatsoever. All of these are really good ideas. I don't know what to pick. I don't know if we want to keep them here, if we want to send them to the moon. I don't know what we want to do, guys. We got a lot of really good ideas in that last little slew of messages. It would take a while for them to suffocate on the moon. Yeah, especially with the rules as written for 5th edition, because it takes you something like your constitution modifier of minutes before you run out of breath and start suffocating or start drowning, as far as water rules apply. So if we're using the same rules for suffocation, it takes that amount of time. All depends on what moon they're sent to. That's also true. Yeah, these are all really good ideas, guys. Let's do... XD6 cold damage. Yeah, for sure. They're definitely gonna take cold damage, I think. Man, you guys just pelted me with so many good ideas. I don't even know where to go. Like, I'm just as lost as I was a second ago, without any ideas. Let's do... Let's call this Moon's Calling. At 14th level, retaliate against a foe's attacks by sending them to your patron's domain. When a creature hits GW, is that like an abbreviation for get wrecked? To the moon, Alice. When a creature hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to teleport them to a... Oh, you were typing in the dark. Gotcha. To teleport them to a lifeless moonscape. At the beginning of your next wait, how is the hurl through hell worded? At the end of your next turn. Okay. At the end of your next turn, the target. Oh. The target returns. End of your next turn, the target returns to the space it previously occupied. Occupied? No, occupied. Or the nearest unoccupied space. So here's where we're gonna incorporate that madness table that we were talking about. It suffers. We'll do less damage than the 10d10 psychic from Hurl Through Hell. We'll say it suffers 6d10 cold damage. From the lack of atmosphere and must roll on the temporary madness table. Here's where we're going to incorporate that. Temporary madness. So unlike Hurl Through Hell, there's more a reactionary thing than just you go experience hell for a bit. Yeah. You must roll on the temporary madness table. Where did I stick the Dungeon Master's Guide? Because I mean, frankly, why the hell not? Again, this is a homebrew. It's probably gonna end up being broken, but that's what playtesting is for. Madness. Madness, madness. Short-term madness table, sorry. Short-term madness table. Short-term madness table. Page 259 in the DMG. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think that is very cool. Let's see if we can get it all in one shot. Barely. A little bit of gravitational pull is cut off. Okay. We still have to figure out Gibbous. Still haven't quite figured out what we want to give him Moon's Phase for Gibbous. What did we say that it's supposed to embody? Uh-oh. Unread notifications. Skipped frames 40 minutes ago? Did I lose frame rate, guys? 40 minutes ago? I don't know if Streamlabs knows what they're talking about. Actually, I think I was on break 40 minutes ago, so I don't think anybody would have noticed anyway. Surrounding the moon or adjustment, refining, and editing. Blech. Growth and expansion, thank you. Growth and expansion, growth and expansion, growth and expansion. How do we want to tie that into... how do we want to tie that into our moon phases here? How are we gonna help out our team with growth and expansion? Moon's power allows you to endure allies to endure. Advantage on checks to maintain concentration on spells. I should say saving throws, because that's what it is. It's a saving throw. Saving throws. Healing. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That's good. I think that's good. Let's do... Moons... Healing... Bask in the moons... Healing light. Heal 1d6 hit points at the start of your turn. That might be a lot. What if we did the moon's light bolsters you, bolsters your resolve, gain temporary hit points, equal to your charisma modifier, plus your warlock level. That way it's not necessarily healing, it's just kind of bolstering. Animal behaviors and patterns. Maybe if we were doing a more werewolf-centric type of thing, that might make sense. But I feel like the growth and expansion angle, as far as our kind of, this is like the moon as the moon centric type of build. I think that the temp hit points is a good angle for this the way that we went. But yeah, definitely animal influence, behaviors, and patterns could be an interesting angle. I mean, we can always come back to the Man in the Moon, Warlock, and revisit it at some point. If we end up not liking it, we can change things around. I mean, that's what I want this community to eventually build to. I want this to be a community of people who just want to hang out and do homebrews and you know, Tuesday nights we hang out and we homebrew. That's our deal. So yeah, we can always revisit this at another time. I think this is great though. I think we really crunched. I mean, we only went 13 minutes over with as far as building this. I mean, I've got a bunch of time. I don't really have anything particular that I'm doing tonight, but I also don't want to just sit here and do nothing. So I'll start doing the show wrap up, and if you guys have any questions or comments or suggestions or anything, go ahead and put them in chat, and we can visit them after I do the show wrap up. But works in a way since creatures get sent to a moonscape, experience madness. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me for Brewcraft. This has been really fun. We finally got this earwig out of my brain. It's been bugging me for a while after I first came up with the idea, and yes, I will remember. In fact, oh yeah, this one was I had already done the initial save. Once you've done the initial save on the home brewery, it saves automatically, but you have to remember to do the initial save. So remember to do that, so you're not like me. Yeah, but thank you for joining me for Brewcraft. This has been great. I'm glad that we got to work this out. And if you guys are interested, if you're new and you haven't joined us before, take a look down below. There's a button that says community with our Discord link. Join our Discord. You'll get to hang out with cool people like Bop Ramen and myself. And Generic Nerd. They're both members. You'll get all kinds of updates on our new shows for the channel. You'll get updates on what we're doing on this show in particular, ahead of schedule, ahead of everybody else in the world. You'll get to hang out and talk in our brewers. What did I call it? I don't even remember. The channel for our brewers. Professional streamer here, guys. Professional streamer. Yeah, you'll get to hang out and chat about brews. You'll get access to links of all of our previous brews, including this one that I did tonight. Yeah, we'll have a good time on Discord. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at RollCallRP. That's at ROLECALLRP. Don't follow Roll Call with double L. That's some person who hasn't used Twitter in forever. Brewers Club. Thanks, Bob. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Oh, subscribe to us on YouTube. We post all of our video, our recordings on YouTube. Post the Discord. Sure. Yeah, let me grab a Discord link. Grab a Discord link. Oh, it looks like Warrior Lord joined our Discord. That's pretty cool. Edit invite link. No limit. Expires never. Generate new link. Copy. I can't copy paste. Why can't I copy paste in the messenger? Okay, hang on. Let me... Twitch. Channel. There we go. There's a link. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Back to wrapping up. And if you love our shows, this show in particular, or our various D&D shows, we do have that little subscribe button, though I think they moved it up to the top corner. Maybe it's over here. I don't really know where. There's a subscribe button there. If you really like us and you want to subscribe to our channel, we welcome it. We welcome any sort of charitable donations. They will only go to improving our streams, improving the quality of our streams, creating new content. We're really in the business of giving you guys content that you can enjoy. So, if you want to help us out and subscribe, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I think that's everything. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you again for joining me. And if nobody has any questions, I'll give it a couple of seconds because, there's lag, there's delay and everything. So sometimes somebody might decide that they have a question. I'm just going to continue talking to fill up space so there's no dead air, because who likes dead air? Nobody likes dead air. I mean, why would you enjoy dead air? That's just silence, and you're looking at my ugly mug? Come on. See about suggesting some commands that will make Twitch life easier. Yeah, I'm garbage at setting up commands in Streamlabs. I tried setting up commands several times, and Streamlabs was like, no, I don't want to do that. So, yeah, if you could give us suggestions, that would be great. I was trying to set up a Twitter link and a Discord link and everything for commands earlier today, and Streamlabs just said no. Screw yourself. I was like, hey, Streamlabs, you don't need to do that. That's kind of rude. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Hopefully I'll catch you next time. And don't forget that this Sunday we are streaming our regular D&D game. Do a plug for Generic Nerd? Sure. Generic Nerd, what's the Twitch that you're on? I know which one it is, but why don't you share the link in chat? Generic Nerd's a streamer too. Go ahead and check out Generic Nerd's go ahead and check out Generic Nerd somewhere. There, I know where it is. You can if you join our Discord, you'll find the link in the shameless plug channel. Yeah. All right. This got awkward now. No, I'm just kidding. Why did it not let you post the link? Or did you just put stars? I'm going to say for the 80th time, thanks for joining us. Me, whoever. And something about beers. I'm still working on the sign-off, but yeah, beers and homebrews. Bye, guys.